In the world of elite chess, you're looking at the absolute peak of human intellect. But what happens if one of those players has a secret, an invisible partner whispering the perfect moves? Today, we're diving into the high-stakes hunt for cheaters in the game of kings and a fascinating new clue that might just be their tell.
So our story really kicks off with a moment that sent a shockwave through the entire community. It's September 2022, and the reigning world champion, Magnus Carlsen, just suddenly quits a major tournament. In that move, it ignited this absolute firestorm of controversy and suspicion, and it blew the lid off a problem that's been bubbling under the surface for years. How do we protect the game we love in an age of ridiculously powerful computers?
And really, this gets to the heart of it, right? If a player is secretly getting help from a chess engine, their moves can look perfect, even brilliant. They just don't make those little human mistakes. So how on earth are you supposed to tell the difference between pure genius and a ghost in the machine?
To really wrap our heads around this, we have to understand the sheer, overwhelming power of this invisible opponent. Because cheating with a chess engine, it isn't just about getting a little edge. It's more like showing up to a knife fight with a stealth bomber.
This quote from the research we're going to be looking at today just puts it all into perspective. Let that think in for a second. More serious than doping in any other sport. That's because the help you get from an engine isn't just some small boost. No, it completely rewrites the rules of the game itself.
Let's really break this power gap down. An elite human player is a master, of course, but they're still human. They get tired, they feel the pressure, they can slip up. A modern chess engine, on the other hand, it's stronger than any human player that has ever lived. When someone uses that to cheat, it basically gives them a nearly 100% chance of victory. It creates a literally unbeatable opponent.
And what's really wild is how easy it is to get your hands on this kind of power. You don't need a supercomputer in your basement. A simple chess app on a phone can be powerful enough to take down a world champion. That means even a beginner can play like a grandmaster. And while it's obviously forbidden and totally unethical, it's also incredibly hard to spot, which is exactly why the search for better detection methods is so important for the future of chess.
So that brings us right back to our big question. If a cheater's moves are flawless, where do you even start looking for a tell? Well, according to this new research, the answer might be hiding in a place you would never, ever expect. And to find it, we need to get familiar with one simple concept.
And that concept is a heuristic. Now, don't let the word scare you. Just think of it like a mental shortcut or a simple rule of thumb. It's not concrete proof of anything, but it's a quick way to get an initial feeling, an indicator about something. And right now, researchers are proposing a brand new heuristic designed specifically to spot potential cheaters.
So, where is this surprising clue? We're on the hunt for a signal, something that can help us tell the difference between human play and machine-assisted play. And this new research suggests that we might find that signal not in how brilliant the moves are, but in the final outcome of the games themselves.
And here it is. This is the big idea. The theory is that an unusually low percentage of draws in a player's record could be a red flag. It's not about how many games they win or how complex their moves are. It's about how often their games end in a tie. Yeah, I know, it's a completely counterintuitive way of looking at the problem.
So why on earth would a low draw rate be a signal for cheating? Well, the logic kind of goes like this. Top-level human players, they know when a position is basically equal. They can see it, and they'll often just agree to a draw to save energy. But a chess engine, with its near-perfect calculation, it might see some tiny, microscopic path to a win that a human would miss, and so it'll always push for that win, avoiding draws that a human would have just taken.
And look, this isn't just a hunch someone had. This whole idea is built on a mountain of data. Researchers analyzed over 53,000 historical chess games to see if this pattern held up. This is a perfect example of how big data can show us these subtle trends we might have missed otherwise.
But, and I can't stress this enough, this is incredibly important. We have to be crystal clear about what this heuristic is and what it is not. This is not a smoking gun. It is not definitive proof of cheating.
The researchers themselves say it loud and clear. A low draw rate does not automatically mean someone is a cheater. Think about it. A really aggressive, brilliant human player might also have a low draw rate. This is just an indicator, a reason to maybe look a little closer. The paper has this great way of describing it. They call it a quick primal indicator. It's that initial gut check, right? That first glance test. It's the smoke, not the fire. It's a tool to help officials figure out where they should point their more serious, time-consuming anti-cheating efforts. So here's how it would probably work in practice. First, some other suspicion pops up about a player. Then, as a simple first step, officials could just check their draw percentage. If it's way, way lower than their peers, well, that might be enough to justify launching a much more detailed, complex analysis of their games. It's basically a simple filter for a very complicated problem.
And this whole thing brings us to a much, much bigger question. As AI gets more and more powerful, it's not just chess that's going to face this problem. In any field where we measure human skill, how do we protect the integrity of human competition? How do we make sure we're celebrating real human achievement and not just the quiet calculations of a machine hiding in the background? That's a question we're all going to have to figure out.